understand where we coming from. Full grown, T-Town, felon. I need heaven, Lord help me find my crossroad. Harsh living temptations, please cleanse my soul. We live where government barely give us assistance. To this day it still don't have existence. For instance, me telling me owner of all company business. That's when they show hate and here start their bitterness. I take their bitterness and grant myself to have greatness. Realize I have a family to raise, don't have time to be careless. Make moves, strategize, I have a plan for my life. Please Lord don't let me die tonight. Please Lord help me to keep living right. Keep my head above water, front seat on this flight. On this flight, keep my head in the sky, floating on air. Wrestling enemies, winning with figure fours like a flare. Call it all black men to stand up, have patience. Heaven help us, keep me away from Satan. Just speaking from my conscience, thoughts of a man. Politics, my decisions, accepting the consequences, my plan. That's why I rhyme, living in my prime to get ahead one day at a time. That's why I rhyme, living in my prime to get ahead one day at a time. Feel me? One day at a time. Yeah, feel me? One day at a time. Heaven help me. Heaven help me. In these times in life, help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trife. Heaven help me. In these times in life, help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trife.
Some wonder if there's a heaven up above. Why I wonder, cause God created love. No mortal man could create that feeling. Not in the devil's world with all these underhanded dealings. For instance, how they did my people in New Orleans. Left stranded for days, had them scratching and crawling. That's all we get from the powers that be. Who empowers the powers that be? Not me, might be DEVIL. Do what he say like bubbles and burning hell. I'm not better than the next man, I'm guilty of the two. I gotta keep it real cause I'm not hypocritical. If that ain't right, they won't let Bible scriptures pass. You can't do nothing in this world without cash. Heaven help me, I would love to change my ways. The money is the root to all evil and I'm trying to get paid.
Heaven help me in these times in life. Help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trife. Heaven help me in these times in life. Help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trife.
Heavenly Father, please save me, cause I'm about to go crazy. Times are hard on my soul, my heart's so cold. I'm what they call the product of a broken home. Broken dreams, broken promises, I'm all alone. I gotta find a way to make a way about the struggle. It's mind-boggling, cause the pressure's always on me. You wouldn't believe half of the things I've been through. People that turned their backs on me said I would lose. Called me a fool for fighting, but I still fought through. That's why I walk around this earth like I got nothing to lose. So Father, if you hear me, can you help me on my way? Show me, guide me where I need to be. I'm tired, Lord, I'm so tired. Can you take away the rain, bring the sunshine? I'm down on my knees, I'm begging, can you please open your gates, send heaven to help me.
Heaven help me in these times in life. Help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trife. Heaven help me in these times in life. Help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trife.
That's designed to delay or deprive you and me right now of getting full rights. That's the government that's responsible. And anytime you find the government involved in a conspiracy to violate the citizenship or the civil rights of a people, then you are wasting your time going to that government expecting redress. Instead, you have to take that government to the world court and accuse it of genocide and all of the other crimes that
it is guilty of today.
The Open Line Radio Show is also powered by Ice Diamonds and Treats, LLC, with frozen treats, snow cones, inflatables, play units, and event needs. Now serving the South Louisiana region. Telephone 225-276-0786. That's 225-276-0786. That's Ice Diamonds and Treats, LLC.
Good morning, people. Welcome to this delayed version of the Open Line Radio Show here on AOC Community Media. That's Cox 15 and LUS Channel 3 in Lafayette, Louisiana. We should have an interesting show today. We're going to go over some things. Again, my goal when doing the open line is to inform people of the things that are going on that nobody's talking about. The mainstream media people, remember, they have no interest in giving the people the true story because of the people we got in office. You know, you heard this before right here.
We won the evangelicals. We won with young. We won with old. We won with highly educated. We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Well, you hear that, right? You heard that, right? Right out of the mouth of, I think he's a jackass himself, a dumbass Donald Trump, surrounded by the smart-ass Project 2025 boys. He loves the poorly uneducated. And apparently that's what we have in South Louisiana. Maybe some people think they're smart, but maybe they're not so smart for voting for someone who's trying to do away with their best interests. So you heard that. And again, welcome to the Open Line radio show. Please consider supporting AOC Community Media. You have a story to tell. You have a problem to resolve. You got an issue to talk about. You got some good things. You got a party. You got some boots on the ground stuff, which we're going to get back into that. You got anything that's reasonable to be broadcast in the 5 parish area of South Louisiana, go to AOC Community Media and sign up, become a member, support this platform. Because, again, we don't know how many platforms we have left at the end of the day. Even the internet can be subject to this neo-Nazi takeover in the White House. You know, we got some stuff going on here, man. I'm going to set a prime example with this picture right here. I'm going to pull up on screen. Now, you tell me, is this something you should worry about? Okay. This is basically, I got an article I printed out right now. I'm going to print running in the background. You saw everybody know about this meme. This is an old meme back when they were looking for the so-called Middle East terrorists. And Peter Griffin, the character in Family Guy, someone did this where he was pulled over, and the way they gonna check to see if he's okay or not okay is the color of his skin. Well, you know, the Supreme Court just recently, as of yesterday, day before yesterday, gave the green light to the rogue Nazi ICE agent that Donald Trump employing all over the country to go ahead and profile a person based on their skin and ethnicity. And so you see with Peter Griffin, that might be the case. You know, I mean, it's a parody, it's a meme. It's true. It's so true. Actually, the article, I'm going to pull it up on my printer right here, says SCOTUS, that's the acronym for Supreme Court, United States Supreme Court, says ICE can use the Family Guy skin color chart. I don't think they really said it like that, but it's basically the same thing. Use the Family Guy skin color chart to arrest, but won't explain why. You know that Family Guy meme where they have the skin color chart to determine how suspicious someone should be? Yeah, you know the one. Now, this is an article called by online web publication called, let's see, it's Tech Dirt. Tech Dirt. Well, the Supreme Court just recently codified that into the constitutional law. So that means we got a bunch of Family Guy wannabe people making laws in the Supreme Court, along with Clarence Uncle Tom. Okay, going back to the article. Well, the Supreme Court just recently codified this into constitutional law, and they did it on the lawless shadow docket without a real explanation, because of course they did, right? They could do that, right? In a stay order issued yesterday with zero reasoning from the majority, the Supreme Court told ICE agent in Los Angeles, yes, you can absolutely detain people based on looking Latino, speaking Spanish, working certain jobs, and being in certain location. The only explanation it if you can really call it that's in parentheses, come from the Justice Kavanaugh in a solo concurrence, which apparently was so legally dubious that not even a single one of the other conservative justices was signed on to it. But it is the only explanation given for the majority ruling. And the article goes on to say it reverses two lower court rulings that said quite reasonably and clearly that you can just arrest people for existing while brown. You know, of course, I'm brown, and they could say I am one. Let me get this call right here and see if we could accept this call right here. Yes, call. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead again. Go ahead again, my brother. Go ahead, Mr. Key. Mr. Kevin. Mr. Kevin. Hold on. I did the wrong switch over. Okay, Mr. Kevin, can you hear me now? Hello? Let's see. We're gonna get it working out, up and working right here. Okay, Mr. Kevin, go ahead. Hey, Mr. Kevin, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. One man show again.
Hey, man, that's the best way to do it. But look, I want to call in. I don't know if I was calling in too early. I know you had some more information, but I said I want to call in before all these fake callers start coming, dilute your program today about what you're trying to speak about, which people need to hear, not just black people,
right,
but all people.
Right.
But the thing is, you mentioned about you started off with Trump, but he loved the poor, uneducated.
Yeah, the one in Louisiana, I guess.
Well, he's exposing Jeff Landry.
Yeah.
And the thing that we as people truly don't understand, and I'm talking about adults who have common sense, and those who don't, please don't interrupt me when I'm trying to explain to you why Trump said he loved the poor, uneducated, because they can play with y'all in your mind. It's called a mind manipulator.
Right.
You know, even our black so-called caucus.
I'm about to start on it. I'm about to start on their ass in a minute. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, you don't have to start on them, Jay. I'm going to tell you about them. They are fake. Mm-hmm. The only thing they got black in their caucus is their color. Mm-hmm. And they're being used to distract us like they do to white people with all these ideologies that they want us to be as people. They don't want us to be humans. They want us to be almost like the AI that they have created to take our jobs. But they realizing that the AI is exposing them real big if you ask the right question to them. And their biggest thing is they cannot control AI, let alone control us, but we choose not to go do our research. You like what you go do and read behind the lines in their language that they use against us? That's what we refuse to do, because we always got these politicians who come with these so-called degrees and indoctrinations and all that, and we think they're smart. They are dumb as hell. They have been taught how to talk to us to make us believe we need them to govern ourselves. Now, as adult, Jay, do you believe that we have to keep going through a government that is corrupted like this? And we are finding every day about what they're doing with the powers. And all Donald Dumb Trump is doing is showing us how this government has never been for the people, but for the corporation. Because as you notice, they've been releasing documents of all the congressmen who are trading stocks.
Yeah.
That is illegal. From Nancy Pelosi to all the Republicans and damn near all the Democrats, they're all involved in the corruption. That's why they keep us as the people, so say fighting one another.
Right.
You mentioned about the Supreme Court decision to let baby white supremacy Trump do what he needed to do? You mean when you call them the white supremacy code? Because this is all what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
When they let some of it escape, they go to the highest so-called law of the land, the Supreme Court, which is not supreme at all. It's white supremacy. Mm-hmm. They the one make us believe that we got to follow their laws. And it's not even real laws because that's amendments to the law.
And basically what they're doing now is against humanity. So, Mr. Kevin, I always did believe that human rights, me being a human in existence, trumps any other law on the planet. And I hope you agree on that, because they can't tell me that because I'm governed by these laws in the United States that they have a right to kill me. I'm a human being. Okay. My human rights is much more than anything the United States could come up with.
So, Jay, just like you told me, you hope I agree with you. I'm with you. Yeah. Because, see, we got common sense to know that human rights is more than animal rights. Mm-hmm. And that's what they keep programming us. But you got to blame this so-called Heritage Foundation that really got Trump involved in the corruption. You know, a 34 convicted felon is now the president of the highest so-called law of the land, and black people still trying to follow in this so-called democracy that's been holding us back, that have put more laws on us than any corporation invented. Even in 2012 with Barack Obama letting these corporations be amended to the 14th Amendment. These corporations are now considered citizens.
Yeah.
And we're not saying nothing about that, and we still want to play in a game that is designed to keep us in struggles. But what you're saying is so on point. Just don't worry about what other people are going to say about you, because, see, you got your own mind. And they don't want you to be woke, Jay. They want you to still be sleeping. Mm. But they want to be the ones putting the dreams in your head, making you think it's not a nightmare. That's this country. And now that talks about these black polluters that we think are politicians, you see how the corruption is coming out on them? Just like that mayor in New Orleans?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they want us to fight for them because now it's racism.
And she was playing both
sides. Because they called them in the cookie jar.
She was trying to do away with the consent decree, where there was finally be a little bit semblance of justice for all that rogue New Orleans Police Department was doing over the years. So then she got with the police because she was basically had an affair with one of the former members of the New Orleans Police Department. Then she got caught up in that scandal. Then she tried to do away with the consent decree against the will of the people in New Orleans, and she tried to cozy up to the Trump administration, but they told her you could cozy up all you want because you're a Negro, and we're going to prosecute you, because that's what we do. We prosecute Negroes. So these Negroes keep trying to cozy up to this administration or any administration and try to play both sides. So that sister's a big,
Jay, what
big
I
ass
like about it, man, what I truly like about it is that, you remember what they did to Ray Nagin, what he did with the disaster in Katrina? Yeah. This Negro went to spend 5 years in prison, right? Mm-hmm. For his corruption. He sold New Orleans out, okay? Now, notice that every little black town, well, used to be white, black town being ran by white people. You don't see white people running for them little mayor position, correct?
Right.
Because what their job is, they know the towns in little cities like that is broke. But they want the black people to come in with their indoctrination to make the black people save these little towns. Just like Appaloosas right now. You seen how they're in shambles with them trying to get a raise with the town in debt? And now they got to come together, so say, to raise another tax on the black people who are running Appaloosas.
Right.
We have to realize that we can run these white folks so-called town. We can do our own thing. But they're always going to send these black so-called educated people to tell us, oh, we can't do that because we need government assistance. What's that little town in Baton Rouge starting their own little community that
St. George.
Our tax dollars going to be going to?
St. George.
So why we can't do that, Jay?
Yeah.
Why we got to play dumb all the time for some dummies? And when I say dummies, I'm talking about this government that find black dummies to present to us like we don't know how to govern ourselves. We don't know how to do nothing, not knowing everything they're doing is run off of our backs.
Right.
And this is why I get so mad with these so-called preachers and pastors and clergies who always go for them government programs while losing their congregation to these people's legislation.
Yes.
And we're not supposed to say nothing because we think they're so godly.
Yes.
We have to wake up, man. And our biggest thing is our children deserve better than this. They are looking at us as role model, and we telling them not to do this and do that, and we following people who are making it harder for our children to even have a degree that's worth something. But they make them pay for it now.
Right. Right.
So all what Trump is doing, please don't be mad at this dummy. He is showing y'all that a convicted felon, 34 counts of federal charges, guilty, and the judges, whether they Democrat or Republican, said they're going to give him time after he do his so-called presidency.
Let alone the
that makes sense to
let
you?
alone the Epstein stuff that he did all types of stuff, you know, and so.
But Jay, Epstein have the Democrats in his bag too, because Biden
they had a
to
whole
file
bunch of them. They had a whole
all
bunch of them.
his term. Why nothing was released?
Yeah.
And now they're supposed to be getting the victims to use them to get black people and victims of sexual abuse to get riled up for the next Democratic election. This is all it's about.
Yeah.
Get the people consent to their contempt, and now we can't say nothing because you voted for this.
Right.
If everybody would stop voting and let this government fail, we can get our freedoms. We can get our so-called dreams. But we're taking care of the rich dreams.
Yeah.
You remember that old white boy, Smith, that came out and just said that this country was for them and their family?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now Roland Martin out there talking about these Republicans. No, Rolly. Talk about the Democrats who had the same executive order Trump was using to help the people who keep them in office.
Right.
This is what I don't like about these kind of black people. When it's time to say something, as long as they're getting paid, it's all right. The minute all their program is getting cut by the next party, they want us to fight. They want to blame us like it's y'all fault because y'all not voting. Well, I don't vote because I don't realize every time I vote, I'm voting against my own interest, which is my people.
I got a poster right now up on screen. I don't know if you can see it, and it asks the question. Just something to ask the question about. Has the black Democrats elected officials served blacks well? Are they scared of MAGA too? You know, I want to add that part. Not only did you serve before MAGA, and are you scared of MAGA now? Because you're not speaking out against them. You're scared to open your mouth. So why be in a party that's some cowards?
Well, Jay, let's go back to Bill Clinton. You remember the white guy who played the saxophone, who hypnotized black people, making them think he was their savior, who put more black people in jail thanks to his other goon, Joe Biden's crime laws and bills. And then came out when he ran for president, told black people that if they don't vote for him, they wasn't black enough. You know, black folk went cast a vote for him.
He attacked this sister soldier, who basically was leading the protest of the Rodney King thing. And he had called her the greatest threat to democracy. A sister that's speaking out and fighting for, he called her, Bill Clinton called her that.
Well, Jay, when we as black people wake up and we start exposing this so-called democracy, which white people, let me tell you, it's only for rich white people, not poor white people. They always try to shut it up. Sister Soldier her name fits her. She was a soldier because she didn't care what color she had to go through. Because I remember back in the day on the O'Reilly show, not O'Reilly, what's the one they canceled after he bought Farrakhan on his show? Donahue,
yeah.
She told Cornel West, who was one of the black puppets back in the day that we didn't know because he was so intelligent and used them words and he impressed us, that he was wrong for telling us we had a problem with this government because he was out there getting them government funds while we was out there getting poverty. That's what I respected that young lady. Because she told them what they didn't want to hear. So what they got to do, dilute, just like me or you, Jay, we speak out against what's going on. Our own black people will come after us telling us we shouldn't be talking like that. Yeah. Not knowing, in my case, Jay, my parents raised a man who was supposed to tell the truth when was necessary, no matter who it goes against. And that's our biggest problem today. We feel we can't expose the black people who've been corrupting our minds for them and their family to get jobs and little peasant pay. As you notice, all the little black people that's on the board, from Blanco's little Negro Pierre and the Boudreaux boys out here in Lafayette on the council, from A.B. Rubin, All these sellout black people is there for the business to come to the neighborhood, which they're not allowing unless it's some scraps. And what black people that's supposed to be educated say, let's not talk about them. Give them a chance. Give them a chance to do what? Put more regulation on the people? We got to wake up, man. And Jay, I keep giving you credit, and listen to me. You always think me and you got a problem. I don't have a problem with you, man. It's the people that be coming around you. I can't let them lie to you in your show. No, I'm serious, man. And I take this personal. You know, it's not no passion. This is personal because I am tired of seeing black people come on your show and lie, making your clients and constituents believe that these people are certified because you bring them on your show. I can't do that, man, because even the people on the side of them, if I catch them lying, I'm going to turn them in. You can call it snitching if you want. But I don't want nobody stupid on the side of me, because if they stupid on the side of me, what that makes me look like?
And you know,
but let the Republicans and let the Democrats lie to the people. Let them lie to the white people. But I'll be damned if I let these black people come and lie, and I'm catching them in a lie, and I don't say that. I don't care who it is. I don't care what church they belong to. Keep that to you and your congregation. But when you start spreading it to other people, you're making them believe this is coming out the Bible.
Right.
This is coming out of the political situation that we go through every day. But you see, right now, all these the little stuff you show with Peter Griffin, that was so on point, it didn't make sense. This is what they've been doing to us, and now that the immigrants and the migrants are getting...
And that meme been out there for over maybe 20 years, and it's come to pass. I mean, how simple as old racist Kavanaugh could say, you know, if you're dark skinned, go ahead, cops, you stop them. But my thing is, we have to have a defense. We got to declare them the same way. And we don't have that unity to say, look, white man, we could profile you if we stop you. If you making laws to hurt us as a human being, we have a right to defend ourselves. You know.
And Jay, I don't profile white people on purpose. I profile white people because of what they done to my people in my family. So when they try to use that, so say, mixed racial stuff, black people cannot be racial profiling. But we do got a lot of these educated black people who has a lot of classism, which is racism to black people, thinking that we need to go get educated. We don't understand what's going on. We understand what's going on. It's just y'all done been indoctrinating y'all to understand to hurt your own for you and your family to survive. That don't make sense to me, man.
I've been seeing a lot of these groups, so-called what we call upward mobile groups in Lafayette, black groups, having award shows and giving the same awards every year to the same people. Maybe they change the name or change one person. And that's what you call self-aggrandizement. Praising yourself, but not doing nothing for your community and claiming you're doing things for the community and you're not. All you do is hold a red carpet event and take pictures and give awards to yourself. That's so...
But yeah, I remember you talking about this 3 years ago, man, how these so-called politicians want to be celebrities and get awards for not doing nothing. That's all the award is, to make other black people think, see, if you be a good Negro, you can get an award too. All you got to do is sell out your people and be with us. You can't be on the side of it, but you can be with us. That way, when black people start acting up, we can send you to talk to them. That's our black politician. That's our black caucuses.
Right.
This is why black people still haven't got their civil rights situated yet, because we are sinning sellouts. You remember New Orleans came out with the reparation? I mean, not New Orleans, California came out with the reparation, and they had all the evidence for them to get paid.
Right.
The black council members did what? Took it off the docket for Newsom to say it didn't make his docket. And then laugh at the black people. They got the blacks to stop the reparation. These people know they owe us reparation. And that's the thing that we're not understanding. We have been so ashamed of going and get government assistance, not knowing that's our money. That's not for them. That's our money. This is what they took from our generational wealth. Our family members built this country for free. The Japanese got their so-called reparation when they imprisoned them. We were enslaved. And yet still they send black people to say, oh, we not no beggars. We not, what is white people? As you find out, Jay, all these businesses closing in Lafayette, New Iberia, and all that. Why? Because their praise demigod, Trump, has cut their government assistance.
Yeah, a bunch, even some major corporations in Louisiana are closing or shutting
and Jay, you know the good part about it, man, and I hate to laugh at it, but everything that was done to us is now being done to them, and these white folk cannot take it. But every time it's something to give back to us, we need to go get a job. We need to go work. We lazy. Now you're seeing who the lazy people?
Yeah.
The white people.
Right.
And if we can't speak the truth, we shouldn't be on the line. We shouldn't even be talking about other people. But we got to wake up and realize without us, there is no them. Look, Clico and Entergy and all of them, look how our electric bill going up.
Going up, yeah.
And wait till, what's our little place, Solar One, that little solar plant that's opening up?
Yes.
Wait till that gets started in generating revenues for the company, not the people now. Generating revenues for the company. Watch how more our property value going to go up, even though it's down, to pay taxes, because they give them a tax exempt for 10 years, maybe more. And they so say it's helping New Iberia. Yeah, it's helping the council members who voted for it.
Yes.
So keep talking what you're talking, man. Like I said, don't let nobody distract you from the truth. You taking time to go find out why is black people the smartest people on this planet and we still at the bottom? Because we fall in dummies. And I'm tired of it.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm glad I didn't go to college, Jay. I'd have been indoctrinated and I couldn't see the answer. But now I can see the answer.
Okay.
You know, Carter G. Woodson said 60 years ago that we wouldn't have to worry about the white people enslaving us. It was going to be our own black people. And it's happening now. So go ahead and do what you got to do, Jay, but keep telling the truth, man.
Yes, listen to this clip right here. It's a brother that your persuasion I think you would like, and later text me and let me know how you like it. Thank you so much. All right. There you go. Let's see if we can play this clip right here. Nope. Yeah, there we go.
Powerlessness. Black people don't have any power. Abernathy and Jesse Jackson can wrestle from here to Los Angeles. They're still not dealing with power. Black people are powerless. They've been put outside of the whole white power structure, and all the organizations, the NAACP, Urban League, SCLC, National Council, Negro Women, all of them are talking as though black people have power. Black people don't have any power unless we can begin to build black institutions and realize that we're dealing with a power struggle for survival. All these organizations are leading us straight to hell and genocide. And Dr. Abernathy ought to understand it couldn't be a power struggle because neither one of them have any power. NAACP has no power. Urban League has no power. No black organization, no black people in America have power. They're fighting for survival from a powerless position, flat on their back, begging white folks, and that was almost the tenor of the Muslim position. They were begging white folks, please sell us some land, give us some land, let us exist. White folks are good. That's a self-hate kind of thing that black folks find themselves degenerating into because black people have no power and they have to beg white folks to give them whatever they want. And I say black people and black Christian nationalism says we have to approach the whole problem in terms of power. Black people have to begin to build institutions. Every institution that exists belongs to white people, was built by white people, and serves the interests of white people. And for black organizational leaders to be sitting there talking as though they have power, as though they represent something. We want to represent everybody. We want to bring everybody together. We want to build a beautiful America. We don't want to build no kind of beautiful America. We want power for black people, and we're going to have to fight for it. It demands confrontation and the willingness to do anything necessary to get power. And we got to take it away from white people. White people are not going to give black people anything. Politically, economically, or any other way, black man is no longer necessary in America. And the white man is hell-bent on genocide. So we have to understand we've got to build institutional power to deal with the white man who has decided to destroy us.
Don't you miss? You don't even know.
There you go, people. That's from Reverend Albert Cleage. Cleage, start with a C. Well, Reverend Albert Cleage. Matter of fact, I never heard of this brother. I might have in the past. He has some interesting points, and some would say a more straightforward approach than some other groups, and he broke it down. And basically, he was saying we need to unify to push back this onslaught that the American system now is changing. People, for the better or for worse, it's not going to be like it was. It's not going to be back to the old, we're going to build that one America stuff. The genie's out of the bottle. Trump is not the problem. He's just a symptom. And that those Project 2025 boys have got a blueprint, and they're running with their blueprint. And the Democrats and the so-called progressive liberal faction of people in America, and even black folks, elected officials, don't even have a clue. So that's why they'd rather go there and break bread with the same people that's trying to kill you or put you down, because Pete Hegseth, the head of the Department of Defense, now basically named the Department of War, is saying he don't want no blacks in the service. He don't want nothing to do with black folks being celebrated. Taking down all the pictures of Joe Louis, who served in the military, doing away with greats who like Dorian Gray and all those people who served in the United States government. So that's telling you people where they stand. But yet, U.S. and local politicians in Broussard and Lafayette, you want to go to consolidated government and you want to talk about breaking bread to get some crumbs without asking the mayor president of Youngsville, in Lafayette, and the mayor of Broussard, the mayor of not St. Martinville, the mayor of Broussard and Youngsville, the mayor of Karen Crow, and other Caucasians in this area, Republican leaders. How do you feel about black folks? Do you agree with the policy? Do you agree with the Supreme Court that they can't stop a person just because he have a color? But yet, if a white person passes, don't stop the white person? And don't even have any explanation for why they should stop us? And then that traffic stop might lead to some deadly confrontation? So they're telling you they don't give a damn about you. But you keep on being a person who just want to get along for the sake of getting along without getting anything out of getting along. So that's my take on that stuff. It's so ridiculous. We are at the point where history is repeating itself. They want to bring MAGA. They want to bring MAGA. Want to bring detainees to Camp J in Angola. How you feel about that? You think that's right? Let me play some other clip that you might be interested in, and let's see what's your take on that.
All right, we have a new clip proving that Donald Trump quite literally cannot go anywhere without getting booed. Multiple days ago, we covered Trump getting booed while visiting New York City for the U.S. Tennis Men's Open. The stadium did not react well. I mean, I'm sure some people cheered, but overwhelmingly he was met with boos. Just today, Donald Trump decided to take a random walk around D.C., the district that he claimed to save from crime and hellfire. Yet the people in D.C. don't want the National Guard there, and they definitely do not want him there. I want to play you this video of people booing him and him getting confronted inside of a restaurant. Then we're going to cover Polish and NATO jets scrambling as Russian drones are going over Poland. All of this is connected in the sense that Donald Trump is failing to live up to any of his promises. He's stripping Medicare away from the U.S. people, from the people in the country. He's arresting people illegally. He goes around and gets booed because he can't end either the invasion and the starvation of Gaza, and he can't end what's going on in Ukraine. In fact, it's escalating. So yeah, he deserves to get booed in this manner. And there's one MAGA woman like with a hat who's screaming, but overwhelmingly you will hear boos throughout the clip. Please remember, 80% of people living in DC and 82% of black Americans in DC said they do not want the National Guard mobilized. The reason the statistic is important by race is because the Trump admin was claiming that this is what black Americans wanted. They said that this is just a case of liberals, white liberals speaking for black people who actually want the National Guard. False. Very false. When you look at the polling, nobody in DC, other than the 10 to 20% who are unsure and think the National Guard could help, the vast majority, 80%, do not want the National Guard. You know, while the U.S. military is focused on our own cities, Polish and NATO jets are scrambling. Warsaw airports are shutting down because Ukraine reported Russian drones over Poland. The world is quite literally falling apart, and Donald Trump is failing to do anything substantive. Polish authorities have closed Warsaw International Airport, and Polish and NATO aircraft have been scrambled as reports surfaced of Russian drones over the country. The Polish military's operational command said in a statement that, quote, ground-based air defense and radar reconnaissance systems have reached the highest levels of alert after Russia launched massive airstrikes on Ukrainian territory, killed more people, and now there are drones flying over a NATO ally. This is how World War III starts, not through funding Ukraine. Let me just make sure I clear this up. The reason why Americans need to continue booing Donald Trump everywhere he goes is because he is not putting America first. Funding Ukraine and allowing them to push back against an authoritarian threat is putting America first. When Russia kills a bunch of Ukrainians, and then puts drones over our ally of Poland, that makes America look weak and pathetic on the global stage. And what we've done is not even sent money to Ukraine. It was a Lend-Lease type program. It was a program where we give them our old equipment, and in turn, we get new manufacturing jobs. Now, Donald Trump has since ironed it out even further, where Europe pays us for the equipment that we send. So we're getting paid for all of this, yet Trump doesn't have the strength to stand up. Like, what's Trump going to do if World War III starts? Beg Vladimir Putin on Truth Social? Beg him not to do anything? Let's read more of this article. But remember, Trump goes everywhere and gets booed. I hear massive booing the moment Donald Trump pops on screen. He tries to smile through it, but you can't. You can't smile through that. Let's show this video of Trump getting disrupted at dinner by Code Pink.
Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine!
I'm surprised they actually were able to successfully get that close, but Trump then walks through it. He acts like it doesn't happen, and then Secret Service escort them off. While all of this is happening, can I just return to this for 1 second? This is insane. Earlier, Ukraine Air Force said on Telegram that drones were heading west and threatening the city of Zamość in Poland, Reuters reports. It was not immediately clear how many drones were in Poland's airspace. Ukrainian media reported that at least one drone was heading towards the western Polish city of Rzeszów. CNN cannot independently verify the reports yet, but this is due to Donald Trump's weakness. Just think about this. The word of the United States president means a lot. When Donald Trump said that there would be a severe consequence, he said severe consequences if Vladimir Putin does not successfully sign a ceasefire deal after their Alaska summit. Going out of that summit, Trump got no concessions. In fact, he conceded more to Putin. He was lied to about election fraud that he then repeated, and he allowed Putin to go back to the killing. Now we see killing throughout Ukraine. We see people being bombed, civilians being killed on a daily basis. The same thing in Gaza, but it's a whole different story there because Trump is being dog-walked by Netanyahu in a slightly different way. Trump's allegiance to Russia and his allegiance to Israel kind of act differently, but don't get it twisted. Trump is giving Russia a lot of grace, so much so that they're able to fly drones over another NATO ally, and Trump just doesn't care. So yeah, I hope he continues to get booed as he walks around DC, and we will make sure we fight every single day to return back to a democracy where Like, the most narcissistic men don't rise to the top. People who will abuse and punch down and rip people off and push contractors to the side, we don't want these people to rise to the top in society. I remember my mom always telling me that, like, if you're a good person, if you treat people well, then you'll do well in life. And I still live by that, but seeing Trump rise to power and the people around Trump rise to power kind of shattered some of the preconceptions I had about who succeeds in the world, especially seeing him get elected the first time when I was still in middle school. I was, 14 years old at the time. Seeing his rise to power has shattered a lot of these preconceptions. The point that I'm trying to make is we can return back to a time where we can be aggressive, but aggressively standing up for the rights of people who oftentimes can't fight for themselves, because that's what America should be about. America should be about opportunity, making sure that people can live their best lives. And that's not possible with the type of policy coming from Donald Trump. Not only foreign policy, like starving the people of Gaza or bombing the people of Ukraine, like Russia is, but domestic policy. Like, a really interesting fact is that at the end of this year, ACA credits expire for 11 million Americans. So 11 million Americans may end up losing Affordable Care Act coverage.
There you go, people. I went a little over what I wanted to show. They were showing where he was booed. I mean, I don't know if the people in Lafayette see all of this. You know, regular people who have those good little gigs out here in Lafayette, good little jobs, and what's coming might be coming to the state of Louisiana. And maybe it's not something. It's something to worry about. Maybe it's not something to worry about. You know, but the point is, we're starting to see other cities come under certain type of a situation with law enforcement. We see in Chicago starting to have the same thing. I want to play this from the Defiant Lawyers. This other clip, well, this is a direct web page right here. And I hope I could find the full from the Defiant Lawyers. Let me get this call. Yes, caller, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, it's me again.
Yes.
I don't text. I know you told me to text you there.
Yeah.
Based on the guy you just gave out.
Yes, sir.
He's a good dude, man. He's gonna be one of my honorees with the black genocide that he tried to warn this country about that they was doing to our black children. This was a long time ago, man.
Yeah,
I was 40 years behind.
I think it's
and you mentioned about
Albert Cleage.
Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reverend Albert Cleage.
Yes.
The thing is, he was speaking the truth. That's why we didn't hear about him. You know, you got to go find people like that. And I've been searching, and like I said, I'm glad I watched your show this morning because he will be one of the people I'll be honoring once I get some more information on him.
That brother's straight up. He's straight up, and he make logical sense. You know, I just ran across him. That's my first time hearing about all these other so-called civil rights leaders or person. He stood there and told Ralph Abernathy. Ralph Abernathy couldn't say anything.
But you know, Ralph Abernathy was the one that sold Dr. Martin Luther King out. But see, when you say things like that, black people, why is he saying it? Go read the research on him. Mm-hmm. All these fake people that was on the side of Dr. King is why they got into politics. They sold this man out. And you mentioned about these so-called little clubs that they be having, like the 100 Black Men and all these so-called nonprofit organizations who are government agents. They don't do nothing unless these white folk give them permission. If you're going to do something for your community, why you got to go get permission from the white people? And plus, I heard you say, you know, like that we got to start being more accountability to these politicians. We are too afraid to even talk about these people. But let that be me or you, Jay, saying something that the people don't want to create the algorithm and the truth. They'll go against us and not realizing it's hurting all of us. Yeah. Even these so-called black politicians, especially in New Iberia, how I've been seeing them play with these black folks, how they've been doing their family members.
I'm trying to figure out this. Got so selfish. It's funny you bring up the city of New Iberia. And I see where they're putting so-called historical markers. But you didn't clean up the city. You're not taking any funding that y'all getting from all that extra money that y'all Freddie the court claimed he wasn't gonna be taken from he being a Republican. We're not taking that. Well, you should have took the money and done something for the West End side, but you're doing it for something else. Well, why put the signs there, Mr. Kevin? I'm saying And you still got a blighted area. You'll put a sign there, but you got the bushes growing over the sign. So how much those signs cost? It's amazing. Wait till you put something there, build something, and then you could make it a historical district and I mean designate the sign. Clean up the area first. Don't just put the area put the sign in the middle of a rundown area and say, "Oh, that's a historical." What? You know, I make it make sense. Like
well, Jay, don't blame the little leprechaun Freddie DeCoeur because he already done bought up Main Street. All the decapitated buildings that he's now putting black so-called business owners, not knowing you're working for Freddie DeCoeur now in his building. You know that's what black folks got to understand and realize. Why, when a white business get destroyed and lose business on Main Street, now is all of a sudden open to black people. Mm-hmm. And we think we in business because we going on the white side of town, not knowing that it's dead, that we kept alive. You remember Victor's, Jay?
Yes. Yes,
if Victor wouldn't have been so racist, his business could have stayed open. Mm-hmm. But he had gambling and alcohol problems. But we can't say that either because he's white. But black people got to wake up and realize they're passing these little historic signs because you remember that infrastructure bill that Joe Biden signed off?
Yeah.
They're getting millions of dollars on that, and they got to find all kind of little stuff to do cheaply done, especially in the black neighborhood, because I saw them historical sign. Matter of fact, the Sept stayed in the ground for like 4 weeks before they even brought the sign.
Yeah.
But they all buy old decapitated buildings from Persian on down, Hopkins Street, where now Hopkins Street is with what's that sellout Judge Porter, Judge Porter Street. All that, you know, I keep telling black people, we used to be smarter than this. We used to critical think. These old people, I swear to God, I got to give them the praise. These people were intelligent. They knew how to read white people's so-called education. And they put what we needed to hear, but a lot of us went to get educated and then became indoctrinated. And now, all of a sudden, we believe black people are the enemy.
Right.
So all those stuff you're talking about is so on point, but where's our black politicians, Ron Davis, David Merrill, all the hand-picked Negroes who go in the background when there's a murder in New Iberia, who can't even speak and this happened in their district. Yeah. But the white man can tell you his narrative of what's going on. But he never going to say, it's poverty that's causing this crime. It's young black boys who the government done broke their black families up that used to control them. These kids don't have no role models. Their role model is taken to the street to survive. And as you notice, look with Jeff Landry. Didn't he just have to pay a fine for ethics code that he violated, that he also changed?
And
so he don't get incriminated.
And he want to, Liz Morrell and all of them want to push that whole issue to prosecute Cantrell. I'm not a friend of Cantrell, but I'm just saying, there's two type of justice system where Jeff Landry can walk away taking that amount of money and doing something unethical,
and
maybe
pay a fine of $900. I think Jay, $900 was his fine.
Yep, and he getting all kind of funding from the MAGA people.
Well, they don't want to pay for it, but didn't Marcus Bryant and all the Timmy Sasha, all of them voted for this to pass, for him to get his pass?
Yeah.
Our own black politician that we think representing the black people. And yet still what we do, we let them come give speeches to our community that they know is suffering and dying. And yet still what we do, we go play the game again when they say, Negroes, it's time to vote again. Come on, we're going to close some of y'all polls, but we're going to find rides for y'all to get to the poll for y'all to vote your interests away. Meanwhile, they're building juvenile detention homes to send our children to, and telling us, our own black politician now, telling us it's to benefit our children. But ask them, would you allow your child to go, or your grandchild to go to one of these juvenile detention homes? Nope. But they'll sell us off to save them and their family.
Yes, sir.
So, man, you've been hitting so much point, man. I got to give you praise. And like I said, I know I'll be taking up your time. But, your information got to get out there, bro. You're doing your job. Just don't get distracted with these little associated algorithms they want us to jump on.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Our algorithm is our people, and what you're saying is the rights.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kevin.
All right, man.
And again, you can catch Mr. Kevin every Thursday at 5:30 here on this very same AOC Community Media. That's Cox 15 and LUS Channel 3. Shout out to Sister Khadijah. Where you at, Sister Khadijah? And shout out to Brother Keith for making an appearance on Digital Soul Radio. He could be a regular DJ on our online platform. Again, we're trying to create platforms where everybody get a chance to air their opinion, because we know we got some stuff coming down the pike where they're trying to limit it. Where they fooled us a long time ago. Well, you live in a country where you have free speech. Free speech is only as free as the people who got the power to allow you to be free. You have free speech if you have a certain amount of money to speak out also. Because, freedom is not just free speech is not just based on letting me have a platform or giving me a platform or selling me a platform. It's also based on money. Money. If you a powerful person and got a lot of money, I guess you could say and do every damn thing you want. Of course, you had a president that a lot of you Catholics go to a lot of the big churches down there in St. Martinville and New Iberia, and y'all celebrate that person or the Christianity rules, but yet y'all embrace someone like the president of the United States who said, what? Grab him by the pee. And y'all already know what that means. You can't serve two masters. I'm not a biblical Bible-toting person, but you're the one who's saying Christianity and righteousness and being good is all of that, and that's what we do in our churches around South Louisiana, but yet you embrace this MAGA fool, killer, whatever you want. He probably engaged in policies that can have people killed anyway. You know what I'm saying? And for instance, the Doge people who cut off the funding for some of the program that fed some of the children in Africa and other places around. Some of the children that died in Gaza cut off the funding, supported a government who's hell-bent on eliminating these people in the Middle East. So you can't say he's a good Christian in the sense of that. And then you got a governor here who basically will sign an execution order in a minute if you put it in front of him. Liz Morrell, too. All of these so-called Christian moral people can't even come and quote anything in the Bible that says they have a right to kill you. So based on in the name of the state. So check that out, people. Check that out, who you got running the government. I want to play this clip if I could get it up, but we could go with, different perspectives. Different perspectives. Might not always agree, but let's see what Roland is hollering about today. Let's see what Roland is hollering about. Okay? All right.
Amy Coney Barrett, Sam Alito, and I mean, these white folks in the Supreme Court who believe racism is okay. Well, that's going to be real tough. Boy, the Supreme Court today give Latinos their wake-up call in a 6-3 decision. The Supreme Court reversed a lower court ruling that folks, this is actually it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that race, ethnicity, and language can now be used as grounds for reasonable suspicion in immigration raids. That's right. It clears the way for ICE agents to conduct sweeping interrogation efforts in Los Angeles. The majority lifted a lower court restraining order that had blocked these raids. Yeah, Governor Gavin Newsom, this is the statement that he released after the Supreme Court decision. Trump's hand-picked Supreme Court majority just became the grand marshal for a parade of racial terror in Los Angeles. This isn't about enforcing immigration laws. It's about targeting Latinos and anyone who doesn't look or sound like Stephen Miller's idea of an American, including U.S. citizens and children, to deliberately harm California's families and small businesses. Trump's private police force now has a green light to come after your family, and every person is now a target, but we will continue fighting these abhorrent attacks on Californians. Elie Mystal is the justice correspondent for Nation. He wrote an article that dropped today that's called "The Supreme Court Just Gave the Okay to Racial Profiling." Elie joins us right now. Elie, how you doing?
I'm terrible. This is one of the most racist decisions the Supreme Court has issued since Plessy v. Ferguson, and I can't express enough how disgusting it is and how, again, definitionally racist the Supreme Court was today.
Well, absolutely. And the thing that's insane to me, what's totally insane to me, is they're saying, oh yeah, if they look, if they sound Latino, look Latino, smell Latino, yeah, y'all go ahead and pull them over.
The court's outlined what's interesting here is that the court just said that racial profiling is now constitutional, right? And what's interesting here is that the government never tried to hide it, right? Like the government often, when they do horribly racist things, they're trying to say like, oh, actually, we're not being this racist because of that. Actually, it's not as bad as it looks. This time, the government was straight up, no, we are racially profiling Latinos in Los Angeles. They outlined 4 different factors, Roland, for why ICE is allowed to stop anybody, round anybody up, legal or illegal. They outlined 4 factors. One was, does the person look Latino? Not even is Latino, do they just look Latino, right? 2, do they speak English with a Spanish accent, or do they speak Spanish? Right? So if you now look Latino and you speak Spanish, you can be rounded up by ICE. 3 and 4 were what kind of job the person is doing, or again, appears to be doing, and where the person happens to be when ICE picks them up, right? So if you're a Latino person walking out of a Home Depot, guess what? You can be rounded up whether you were there for work or whether you were there to pick up a doorknob for your house, right? It is, again, definitionally racist. The government admitted to this level of racism, saying that you can round people up just because they look Latino and speak Spanish, and the Supreme Court was like, yeah, that's fine. 6-3, Brett Kavanaugh with the concurring opinion here. And what's wild, and I saw our friend Jamel Hill make this point, Roland, this is the same Supreme Court that says you cannot look at race when it comes to college admissions, right? So you can't look at race when it comes to whether or not you're allowed to go to college, but you can look at race when it comes to whether or not you have to go to jail or get deported from the country, right? It is absolutely insane to me. The other thing here that Kavanaugh did that I find so, I'm trying to find the nice word to it. It's the whitest thing possible, right? Is how Brett Kavanaugh described what it is to be stopped by ICE. He said it was a usually very brief, polite, and prompt conversation where if you're a legal immigrant or legally a U.S. citizen or just happen to be born here, where you're allowed to walk free after simply proving to ICE's satisfaction that you're a citizen, right? And of course, from Brett Kavanaugh's white-ass perspective, I'm sure that's what he thinks. But I bet, Roland, Brett Kavanaugh would react differently if the question was, hey, Brett, there have been a lot of rapes in this area, so we're just rounding up all the white guys to see if they committed any of these rapes. Hey, Brett, do you have a calendar perhaps that you could show that proves that you didn't commit any of these rapes? I bet Brett Kavanaugh would feel a lot differently if that's what the government was doing instead of simply racially profiling Latino Americans.
And of course, you've got the resident Negro, Clarence Thomas, agree with it. Alito, John Roberts, Amy Coney Barrett, Sam Alito. And I mean, yeah, they've co-signed racism. They now here's the thing. All right, is this have a narrow? Is this narrow? I mean, basically, they've just said stop and frisk is now perfectly constitutional. I'm telling you, these folks are going to use this against black people.
Oh, they're going to use it against everybody. Anybody who thinks that this is going to stay in the Latino community is just, first, you lack empathy, and second, you're just fooling yourselves. If they can use racial profiling to round up Latinos, again, regardless of whether or not they're of legal status, you're absolutely right. It's going to come for black people next. It's going to come for Asian Americans next. You know, you're a Vietnamese woman working in a nail parlor. Guess what? You can be rounded up on suspicion of being an illegal immigrant, right? You're a Chinese man who happens to own their own dry cleaner. Guess what? You can be rounded up just in case ICE thinks that you're a legal immigrant. The other thing Brett Kavanaugh and the rest of the racist conservatives don't bother to explain is, what does it require to prove to ICE that you're a citizen? I mean, even beyond the fact that you shouldn't have to show your papers, what papers do you need according to ICE? Because the Supreme Court makes no standards for what ICE is allowed to ask you or not, right? What they're allowed to require or not. Again, white folks, as far as I know, and I'm not white, so maybe it's a little bit different on that side of the tracks, but I don't know a lot of white people that run around with their birth certificates in their pocket, right? I don't know a lot of white folks that keep proof of citizenship in their wallets. And of course, white people don't have to, because white people know their proof of citizenship is on their face, right? Even if they're like a German working in a beer hall. Oh, nobody's going to question them. They are clearly allowed to be here because of the color of their skin. Everybody else apparently needs to carry around papers that ICE can demand to be shown in the back of one of their trucks whenever they want. That is the upshot of this Supreme Court ruling. Brett Kavanaugh specifically addresses the fact that in many of these cases, the people who are round up, again, legal or illegal, are being brutalized. And he says, yeah, I don't have to concern myself with that. That's not an issue for this case. If they're being brutalized, there are other federal courts that you can go to allege police brutality, not mentioning the fact that Brett Kavanaugh has been a consistent vote to deny people access to the courthouse in cases of police and federal brutality. Oh, he doesn't mention any of that. He just says he doesn't have to care about police brutality because that's going to be some other case. It is, I called it online, the most racist decision this court has made since Plessy v. Ferguson, because it is the straight-up application of a double standard based on the color of your skin in this country. If you are brown and on a train or on a bus, the government can snatch you off of that train and make you show your papers. If you're white, they can't. That's racism.
I'll tell you what, if you're coming here for the FIFA World Cup, no way in hell I would come to the United States or even the Olympics.
Well, I mean, look, if you're coming to cheer on the Germans, why not, right? If you're coming to cheer on Wales, I'm sure you're good, right? And I'm sure if you're coming to cheer on Argentina, you think you're going to be good. Because you think you're going to, because, you assume that white people have that card of, like, skin tone, okay, not okay. If you're Argentinian, I'm sure you feel like you're going to be on the right side of okay. But if you're Brazilian, can you be sure, right? If you're Ecuadorian, can you be sure that you're going to be on the right side of it? Don't dare try to come here, cheer on Team Mexico in the World Cup. We know what's going to happen to those folks. And quite frankly, don't come here to cheer on Ghana, neither, right? Don't come here to cheer on Tunisia, neither. Because you might not be on the right side of the color line. Because remember, folks, one of the things the Supreme Court said in this decision is that if you just look Latino, you can be rounded up. Looking Latino is enough, right? I'm Haitian. But do I look like I could be Dominican? I don't know. But apparently, if I do, according to ICE, then they can make me show them my papers. And since I was born in Queens, I don't got no paper. I don't know where my papers are to prove that I was born in Queens.
White folks whiting. This is the America that we're living in. That's what this boils down to, Ellie. And listen, my book is called White Fear for a reason. These people, they want a white nation. They, over the weekend, Elon Musk is posting a bunch of tweets talking about the white fertility rates. And it's, oh, but no one cares about this. And I was like, well, take your ass back to South Africa. And so that's the whole deal. So this is, you see it right here. White people are a rapidly diminishing minority of global population. All of this is tied, Ellie. All of these rulings are tied. They do not want to lose being the majority race. That's what this is all about. This is whiteness at play. It is my book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. And today, the white Supreme Court, including that white black man, Clarence Thomas, they lost their minds with this racist ruling.
And the thing is, they've already lost it. They've already lost their dominant status. They've already lost their majority status. If everybody else could just come together. And so, like, the only shred of hope that I can take from today's ridiculous day is that I would hope that other Latinos of goodwill and good conscience could perhaps rise up together with black people, with Asian people, with Native American people. Because if we all hang together, the GOP can't win. If we all hang together, the white supremacists can't win, right? There are enough of us plus a few good-meaning whites that if we stick together and come together, these racists will lose. But we have to all come together, because if we keep doing this, the divide and conquer strategy, which has always been the white man strategy, you can go back to how they colonize most of the rest of the world. The divide and conquer strategy has always been the white man's greatest strategy. And if we could just take that away from them, they would lose.
Ellie Mistel with The Nation. Folks, y'all check out his piece by going to thenation.com. Ellie, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much for your time.
Christopher, I want to start with you. I mean, I appreciate it. Christopher, I'll start with you. I mean, this is whiteness at play. I mean, this ruling, I mean, how more racist can you get to say, oh, yeah, you know, if they look, sound, smell, act Latino, yeah, y'all can stop them. Go right ahead.
Well, we know that this isn't the first time. In fact, I was actually surprised. I was like, wow, well, black people have been racially profiled since we've been over in this country. So now we just have de jure racism. They just wanted to put it in writing. Maybe it's more convenient for them that way. I don't know. But they've always done this. Now they just want to make it legally of saying, well, you can't sue us over this anymore. Or, hey, guys, guess what? This country really is not free for immigrants or anyone else that does not look white. We want to make sure that you know that, and we are putting it in the books to let you know that we consider you a threat, and we will go and stop and talk to you. That Constitution that we wrote, we didn't write it for you. In fact, they explicitly say they didn't write this Constitution for us. They are going back to originalism, not originalism of the ideals of justice, the originalism of racism. And they're going to continuously do that. Y'all, we are 1,229 days until the Trump presidency is over. Okay? 1,229 days. He has not even been done with a quarter of his presidency. There is so much more that's going to come down the pipeline. Am I surprised about this? No, because again, this has happened to black people. Now it's happening to Hispanics. Next, like was said before, it's going to happen to Asians. It's going to happen to literally everyone. And you know why? Well, there's a reason why he's deploying the National Guard in major minority cities, because that's where the minorities are. Because the Army and the National Guard need to practice rounding up people. 1,229 days. If you think this man is going to go easily or peacefully, he's not. And he's making sure that he exercises this power now. So, and he's using the Supreme Court to make this happen. This is a war. He changed the Department of Defense to a Department of War for a reason. This is a time that we all have to wake up and say, look, if there's going to be a war for our democracy, we have to fight to maintain it. Otherwise, this type of de jure racism, this is just one. Okay, there's going to be plenty more that happens in the future. The question is, are we going to show up to vote to stop it? Are we going to make sure our communities are immune from it? And are we going to fight back?
AD, it's called a Latino wake-up call. That's what this is.
Yes, it is. And I think that this should also be a call to us to understand that, like, when injustice is codified by law, that we are duty bound to resist, organize and resist. And so I think that that's where we are now. And I wish that I could say that I was surprised by any of this, but of course I'm not. But the kind of fighting that has to happen at this point, of course, it's reacting to this particular ruling, but I think that folks also need to start thinking about being proactive with regard to all of the things that we can kind of, the tea leaves that we can read that let us know what is coming in the next 1,000 and something days.
But Army Congo, here's the deal. We can't organize for them. They're going to organize for themselves. They have got to wake up. He dramatically increases Latino support. Many of them were voting for the deportations. Now they're realizing, yo, y'all ain't white. Y'all might think y'all white. You might call yourself a white Hispanic, but you ain't white. Supreme Court just said you brown.
Yeah, period, bottom line. And one of the things that was said during this panel discussion, as well as, of Ellie as well, is that if we had the solidarity, we could win. We could defeat all of this. The fact of the matter is, Washington Post talks about democracy dies in darkness. It doesn't. It dies in the light of day. And right now, people are just handing this country over to Donald Trump through our inability to come together. The business community is working in cahoots with him. When you look at it, so why aren't we in our community? Well, we are with like Target and other places, but there should be massive campaigns of withdrawing from businesses, that support this individual. There should be, more conversations about how we can protest and work together to support each other through this process. But he keeps folks divided. Some of us said already that, it's just a matter of time before they come for Asians. Well, hey, Roland, last week they did. 475 South Korean people arrested at that plant in Georgia. The government of South Korea is sending a charter ship to take 300 of them back home. So they're already coming for every other group. How long is it going to take? Trump hasn't fired, a single shot necessarily. He hasn't, fired any machine gun bullets. It's all through not through legislation. It's all through working with the Supreme Court, who has given him the authority to do whatever he wants. It's all through a weak Congress that has given him the power. We got to fight Congress then. So we got to fight the business community then. Then we got to fight the Supreme Court. It's in our DNA. It's in our blood. But we can't do this alone. We can fight. We can resist. But there's not enough of us to make this happen. And so if this isn't the wake-up call for members of that community, Roland, I don't know what is. But I know that we're talking about over 1,000 days of Fitz's administration. Our focus has got to be these midterms and all of these other special elections that are going to be coming up as well, because those are going to be the ways that we slowly start to gain power, just like we've seen the Democrats win the majority of special elections that have happened since Trump has come into power. So it's not over yet, and I doubt it's going to be over if we don't give up. But we have to continue to coalition build. I've cited Fred Hampton before, and I'm going to cite him again. He was building with rural whites and then other folks throughout the country. We need that type of movement and that type of unity now.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase.
Yes, people, I went a little over with that clip right there. Again, I'm just trying to get different perspective of what you believe or what you might think is happening. The whole issue is, how do you feel? Even some people might think it's a joke. It's not. How do you feel? Let's see where I could get it again and put it back on the screen. You need to see it. Based on the fact that this could happen to your child, and what those confrontation, what does that does in the long run, huh? What does it do, people? Here's the question: what does it do? What does this do to your young person if they're coming from, let's say, a Northside High School game, it happened to, let's say, a local jurisdiction of law enforcement pull them over. And they say, well, hold up. Why are you stopping me? Well, you know, you look suspicious because what? Because check out the Peter Griffin meme up there. Because you're not white, you're black. Well, sir, that is racist. No, it's not. It's not racist. Racist is not a legal term. Racist is not codified in the law. So basically, we could do this to you. We could pull you over because you are that one at the bottom. Not okay. The not okay strip. So think about that, people. So how do you fight against something like that? How do you fight against something like that? Well, what you do, you organize. You become unified. You get your community, your leaders, your elders. Let me go with this caller right here. Caller, welcome to the Open Line Radio Show. Okay, caller, just a second there. We're going to switch you over. Okay. Hello, caller. Call back, caller. I seem to lost you. The line went out. Let's see if we can get him back on the line. Let's see if we can get him back on the line. Hello, caller.
Brother Jay.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning, Brother Jay. Like always, you're always having a good program. You know, seems like the brown paper bag is coming back out. You know what's disturbing to me, Brother Jay? The white girl that got stabbed on the train or whatever. You understand me?
Right.
Donald Trump immediately spoke out about that.
Right.
But when that white boy killed, shot at those kids in church, he didn't say a thing about it. You know, like I'm hearing, the only reason why he didn't speak out against the white guy shooting and killing a couple of kids in the church is because the NRA, you know, gonna be involved in that.
Right.
But here was a knife, you know, and all of a sudden he got a problem with the girl being stabbed with a knife, and a person of color did it. You know, we on a slippery slope right now.
Right.
Very, very, very much, Brother Jay.
Yes.
You know, and all those that wants to stay asleep, don't think it's happening, don't think it's going to happen to them. Like they're saying, he got 1,000 some odd days left in that seat, you know, and he's not going to come out of that seat very casual, you know. He didn't want to come out the first one casual. Look what he did. He sent people of the United States to the Capitol to overthrow what was going on. He didn't send the National Guard or any troop then, but now he's putting troops in place.
Right.
You understand me? And they're not gonna go away within a couple of weeks.
Right.
They're gonna be there for a while.
Right.
You know? And long as they be there like that, bruh, you know, we in a world of trouble as people of the United States.
Yes, sir.
You know, we got patriots and we got American patriots. American patriots believe in the Constitution. Patriots don't believe in the Constitution. They believe and they make up. Good morning there, Brother Keith. You looking awfully good, man. But, you know,
good morning.
That's the way it is, man. You know, and Brother Jay, you know, love you, man, for being the person that you are to try to bring to the community what's really going on with us as a people of color.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Brother Jay.
Thank you, sir.
See,
And
we got Brother Keith
don't you
on.
get caught on the side of the road like Peter Griffin, man. Peter Griffin and Family Guy.
I know.
Not okay.
I know.
Not okay.
Okay.
All right,
Brother Jay.
All right. Welcome. We want to welcome brother Keith Falk in. Understand Brother Keith is one of my co-hosts on a lot of other platforms, Real Talk and so forth. How you doing, Brother Keith?
Good morning, Brother G.
I'm not hearing your voice. Go ahead, talk again.
Let me make sure my volume is.
Go ahead, brother.
Can you hear me? All right.
So how's it going, Brother Keith?
Pretty good. Good morning, Brother J. Good morning, Brother Wallace. Thank you for calling in. I thank y'all for keeping the show going while I was kind of into getting myself together. But Brother J, I take point from Brother Wallace and accept that well, and I agree with him. But I want to say this: it's time for us in the Black community, especially in the state of Louisiana, to become serious. And we can't focus on the Black organizations and the Black groups fighting for us. Us as an individual people, the whole community needs to come together and fight for us. We need to also understand within our community, we don't need to be fighting against one another. We don't need to be taking our own lives. We need to advocate, get together, and fight against the adversary. One thing about the state of Louisiana and every white supremacist, every white politician that's on that white supremacist agenda or that Jim Crow agenda know that they can go to the state of Louisiana or they can push things through the state of Louisiana because we don't fight till we get what we want or until we get justice.
Right.
We fight for a little while till they shut us down. Then when they shut us down, we die down. We got to keep fighting. It's time for us to get serious. It's time for us to come together. It's time for us to let these white supremacists policies, agendas, decision makers, politicians. It's time for us to let them know that they're not railroading the Black community, especially in our state.
Exactly.
Because Louisiana across the nation, I think is one of the highest rates where African Americans are brutalized against, and we don't see no justice. Just to name a few: the Victor White, the Trayford Pellerin, the Ronald Green, the Eric Garner. Is a lot. Is a lot of our people have been brutalized. Some died at the hands of the state police, local police, and we have yet to see these officers face the inside of a courtroom. In a green case, they did, but then at the end of the day, the state of Louisiana justice system failed the African American people and railroaded those cases. There's a lot of cases that has been railroaded. I want to say my heart goes out to the family of the baby that was killed a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago. I can't get the exact time frame at the top of my head, but my heart goes out to that family, and want to take a minute to say a prayer for that family of the young girl that passed away or was killed.
Yes, that's
a week ago.
That's very troubling.
And just to put this, just to say this, a week before that happened, a family member out of that same family was life was taken by a former Lafayette Police Department officer. So it's evident in our community we are taking our own lives, our own culture. We're killing our own culture, and at the same time, they're they are taking our lives. So it's time for us to get serious. We have to sit. The elders have to sit the young people down and say, this is not the fight we need to be.
Yeah.
Your kind is not your ops. We don't need to be shooting at one another. Our ops are those white supremacist decision makers. Those white supremacists that are putting out these racial remedies, these racial ethnies, and I want to say it's time for us to challenge our local officials. It's got to start on a local level. Nationally, they're pushing the movement and expecting it to have the trickle down effect locally. We have to press our local officials, our local politicians, our local decision makers. Are you are you a part of this agenda? Because if you're a part of this agenda, we don't need you. We don't need you running our government. Um, we don't need you coming to our community asking us for a vote if you are part of this agenda. Are you going to come out and say, no, I'm not a part of this agenda? Or are you going to still peddle the fence? Because if you're going to still peddle the fence, we don't need your vote.
Yeah.
We don't need you asking for our vote around election time. Another thing, Brother Jay, I want to point out about Louisiana. Notice the president told the governor of Chicago, well, the mayor of Chicago, and a sheriff in Florida, it is a black district in
Yeah.
Florida, told the sheriff, we're sending the National Guards there. And the sheriff said, we're not arresting we're not allowing the National Guards to arrest anybody that is not doing wrong. The mayor said, we're not going to go for your federal agents targeting our citizens. And when these other places where he thought he could have pushed his way through and create injustice, these officials said it's not happening, which were African American officials. Now, when he couldn't do that, he started targeting the state of Louisiana. He came to the state of Louisiana because if he creates something in the state of Louisiana, the rest of the Republican states are going to follow. He targeted the city of New Orleans. And he said New Orleans because New Orleans is a major city where its population is mostly African American. So he targeted New Orleans. He said, we're going to send the National Guards to New Orleans. And the governor, I'm with him. So locally, we have to tell. We can't go to the governor because the governor is with him. Is with the white supremacist agenda. We have to tell our local officials to tell the president and the Trump administration that we are not going for this racial injustice. You're not bringing it to the city of Lafayette. You're not bringing it to Ville Platte. You're not bringing it to Eunice. You're not bringing it to Shreveport. You're not bringing it to Crowley. You're not bringing it to New Orleans. We have to press our local officials to turn down these white supremacist policies and decisions, and to put a stop to those decision makers. And until we do that, we are going to continue to see injustice. We are going to continue to see our people brutalized against. The black community is going to continue to stay in the struggle. We have to press our local officials. Well, some might say, it's for Latinos. They shouldn't have voted. They shouldn't have did this. Well, newsflash. Those races are just something to where they can say, we can ease it on in.
Yeah.
We can ease it on in. We don't want to expose the black community all
You
at
want to
once.
accept?
We want to ease it on in. Caller, brother.
Yes, caller.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes.
Hey, can I say a
We
few
have a
words?
caller. Go ahead,
Go
caller.
ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Can you, let me lower my television. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
can hear you fine. Perfect.
Okay. There's an echo. Okay, yeah. I'm listening to you guys and everything. I've been listening earlier too. And I want to first say happy Wednesday to everybody. First say I want to say happy Wednesday to everybody.
Yes.
We are still alive. Amen. That said, y'all, I want to bring up propaganda. I want y'all to talk about propaganda, whether today or the next time. One thing about propaganda, if you know a little bit about it or you study it, I'm gonna use the word freak out. It's gonna freak somebody out. The word propaganda, but they don't know how propaganda works,
right,
and how propaganda still works today. I want to bring up another word: violation. Violation. Are the American citizens being violated? What happened to the laws of the land of this country? How is it that the once laws of this land that seem to be, I would say like the wall that they had to knock down over there back in the German years. It seems like our laws were once so powerful and so strong that in order to even challenge our laws, all our court systems had to get involved. But it seemed like now they're like falling like toothpicks. What happened to our laws? So the words I'm going to leave y'all with, brothers, is propaganda. Talk about it right now. Violation. Talk about violation. Who's being violated? How is violation happening? What happened to our laws? Why are our laws falling like toothpicks? And one other one. Let us not forget the children, our children. I heard somebody say that earlier. Brother Kevin said that about our children deserve better. Or do they really deserve better? I'm going to say that again. Do our children really deserve better? Because if they do, then what are we doing in the country, in the United States of America? If the children matter and they really deserve better, then what are we doing? Case in point, build a water park in Lafayette Parish. Sulphur got one. Westlake got one. Those little towns are some little pocket-sized towns compared to over 500,000 people in this community. Build a water park for these children. You see, money is involved. Build a water park.
Right.
The bottom line is, are we real, or are we like that camera used to have a camera, Kodak or something? Real, or I forgot the Rolex, something like that. Are we real, or are we just running our mouth and just talking? Because I'm gonna tell you, guys, with what we are dealing with now, I'm gonna use the word worry too. Let me not leave worry. So I got propaganda, violation, and worry. WORRY. When people worry, explain to us what happened to them. And why is everybody so worried these days? Okay. I'm listening. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Coach, let me answer your question.
Yeah, I think, Coach, you ran the gambit on it, but propaganda, Brother Key, that's basically what this administration is running on. Propaganda, the Project 2025, read it, or you don't have to read it, but read it if you're concerned. Propaganda, indoctrination. We heard Mr. Kevin use the word indoctrination, and then setting the goals. And this was Project 2025. Trump is a tool of Project 2025 to implement basically, you remember the words, keep New World Order? Well, New United States Order. And the order would be, say like Brother Darrell, say I'm using, Coach, I'm borrowing from different people saying different things. Brother Darrell used to say, white man on top, black man at the bottom, everybody else in the middle. Basically, that's what's going on now. And
Brother J,
we
let me
have
get
to
up.
find a way to nullify a lot of that stuff. And when Coach said laws, what happened to our laws? And I say, what this whole saying, what you mean by ours? What you mean by ours? These laws were never meant to govern us in a proper manner. We simply live in America and follow them. But these laws wasn't perfect anyway. So if they have gotten from bad to worse, in my opinion, because they never really gave us justice. So go ahead, Brother Keith.
Brother J, just to touch on what Coach propaganda, I want to say this. This thing is real. This thing is real. It's not to mislead nobody. This thing is real. These white supremacists are not worrying about misleading nobody. They worrying about getting their agenda forward, putting their agenda forward, and if it means they gotta come out and show it directly, that's what they're doing. They showing directly that they are white supremacists. They showing directly that is a white supremacist agenda. They showing directly that the white race, the European race, is supposed to rule it all, and that's what they want. So it's real. It's bigger than propaganda.
It's so real.
It got bigger than propaganda. And then number two, another thing I want to say: the United States. Mexicans, Japanese, Vietnamese, they come in here. They're giving grants. They're giving grants. They're giving loans. They're giving this. They're giving that to move forward. The African American race for over 200 years have built, worked. We was promised over 200 years ago an acre and a mule. Still haven't started receiving reparations from our ancestors' time. So, but another thing, Brother J, Coach touched on, and I wanna say this about it. He said, "What are we leaving, or what are we building for the children, for the future of the children?" I want to say this: if the elders, if the elders don't get a hold of the young people and put another notion in the young people that violence is not the answer, and who our real oppressors are, who we supposed to be against, there won't be any future of our culture. Because now, and I keep going back to the shooting incident of that baby. Now, time has showed us that we're not paying attention to what we're doing when we want to commit a violent act. We're just doing it. Because now we're killing our future, the babies. The babies, our culture are killing the babies now. So if that continue to happen, it's nothing to build for the future, because we're killing our own future.
Yeah. As the case with the young baby, Brother Keith, as the case with her, the thing with that, we won't be bold enough to tell our young people the drill culture, a lot of the stuff they're consuming. This, Coach, can you keep it brief, Coach? Can you keep it brief?
Yes, I will. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Brief. Okay, back to the children. You know, our past talks about the children. Who we are is about the children. What we do is about the children. When we wake up and go to sleep is about the children. Our time is up. We've had our time. Now it's time to do something for them and their future. And all the shenanigans, must stop. Let's go tell each other the drugs and the drug addicts and all of that.
hoodlum type of behavior, gotta go. It gotta go. And those who are allowing that in their homes, who is of our descent, must stop it because they know what's going on. They know who's doing it. They know who's cutting up. So it's time that they step up. Mamas, daddies, step up because the grandparents and them are mostly all older. Many of them have they all deceased now, and it's our time. Stop the nonsense and the shenanigans. Do your job as an adult. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right,
Okay.
coach, and that's exactly what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is what I'm trying to explain to everybody listening out there. If we don't get a hold of the young people that's involved in you can call you can call the police, you can do this, you can do that. They're going in the system. They're going in the system. We're losing them to the system for till a certain amount of time. Then they right back out what they learned in the system. Nothing. They right back out doing the same thing. So we gotta attack the system, and at the same time, while attacking the system, we gotta create a way to get to these young people that are doing the violent acts. We got to find a way to get to them. We got to find a way to get through them. Maybe it might be the music. If the artist, I mean, you got to start calling on. You got to start calling on everybody out there. You got to use your resources. They got rappers out there. They got hip hop artists out there. Maybe we need to go to them and get them to start making music that's more productive, that's more towards doing something, getting your life right, than busting but and excuse my French, brother Jay, busting nigga head. Or shake that ass. We gotta get them, we gotta get our hip hop artists maybe to making more music that's getting in the books or learning a trade. So something we gotta go to our resources. We gotta go to our tools. We gotta go to things that create positivity in the mind of
Yes, caller.
yeah. Let's take the caller, brother.
Yes. Hey, Brother Jay, and one last one. You all have a good day and a good weekend. And I also want to say this.
Well, let's look at all of our African American politicians. Let's tell them to dig deep in their wallets and spend some of the money that they get as politicians on helping our kids with these programs that can turn around our children that need that assistance from the gun violence stuff. Let's dig deep. Let's see how deep people are willing to go in their pockets to do something about it, because it's going to cost somebody some money to fix a problem. And let's find out. It don't have to be just a politician, but I'm talking to them too. Dig deep in your pocket, start a program, make it cost something, and make it happen, and make it help to change the lives. Get started now. Because, man, we running out of time, baby.
Yes.
We burying them too fast.
All right.
Thank you.
You right. You right, coach. The politicians, they need to maybe say.
And Keith, you'll hear the argument from people that Brother Jay, the music ain't made nobody do this. The movies ain't made nobody do it. The PlayStation game ain't made nobody. But listen, if you have a generation, a couple of generations of people indoctrinated with this type of lifestyle, then people actually playing it out in the streets, playing it out in everyday world, even at school. I mean, these schools now are becoming prisons where just introducing a phone into a school is like introducing contraband. And what a parent has to go through, because I know firsthand what a parent has to go through to deal with these young people in this school, because there's so much peer pressure because of the lifestyle culture. Now, how do you fix something like that?
And Brother Jay,
Can you hear me, Keith?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. It starts with every institution, every organization, every parent group. It starts to let them know a lot of this thing is wrong. And if you clown all the time and say, well, you know, this Satan. You watch South Park, the episode with Satan, right? Well, a lot of the stuff that our young people is consuming, and even a grown adults, 50 years old, who want to wild out. Look at social media. So Facebook has turned to one big ass porn operation. Nobody said nothing about that. You got AI videos of pastors and preachers cursing and calling women all kind of names. So this is normalized. The normalized culture that we are facing today is the biggest destroyer of communities and people. Until we have strong-willed people who can deal with these our young people and even crazy adults who live in that kind of life, well, then we can never change. So I'd say unity is the key. First of all, we got to get together, agree on some things, most of the stuff, 90% of the stuff, and move forward and change the generation, because it takes generational culture issues to change people. Maybe another 2-3 generations to reverse things. So it's complicated. It's not that easy, Coach.
And Brother Jay, I know our time is coming to an end, but I want to say this. For those who say is not the music, is not this, is not that, they haven't took the time to sit down and talk to these young folks, because they got some young folks think what's in get rich or die trying is a way of life. So if they saying it's not in those things, well then they hadn't took the time to sit down and really get into the mind of a young folk, or YN as they call them. But I want to say this: heartfelt condolences to everybody who have lost a loved one to the acts of the system, brutality, acts of our own culture in the community. Hearts go out, and I want to say everybody have a blessed weekend, rest of the week.
And Brother Keith, you're now debuting on another platform that we are part of, Brother Keith and I, in partnership, Digital Soul Radio. If you want to listen to some great music on Digital Soul Radio, go to digitalsoulradio.net. Digitalsoulradio.net. Listen to Brother Keith. He go live every now and then. We soon gonna have to schedule up so when he go live. So you're looking at a great DJ from South Louisiana, and certainly we want people to know where he's at. You could catch him at live, or you could catch him in one of the venues in Lafayette, and around South Louisiana.
Correct. And Brother Jay, I want to say this too for anybody that's listening. I'm out there in the entertainment world. If anybody want to do something, or if anybody want to do something for the community, want to do something to pull these young kids together, let us know. Reach out to Digital Soul.
I need heaven. Lord, help me find my crossroad. Harsh living temptations.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Soul. We live where government barely give us assistance. To this day, it still don't have existence. For instance, me telling me owner of all company business. That's when they show hate and here start their bitterness. I take their bitterness and grant myself to have greatness. Realize I have a family to raise, but I have time to be careless. Make moves, strategize, I have a plan for my life. Please, Lord, don't let me die tonight. Please, Lord, help me to keep living right. Keep my head above water, front seat on this flight. On this flight, keep my head in the sky, floating on air. Wrestling enemies, winning with figure fours like a Flair. Calling all black men to stand up, have patience. Heaven help us, keep me away from Satan. Just speaking from my conscience, thoughts of a man. Politics, my decisions, accepting the consequences of my plan. That's why I rhyme, living in my prime to get ahead one day at a time. That's why I rhyme, living in my prime to get ahead one day at a time. Feel me? One day at a time, yeah. Feel me? One day at a time. Heaven help me, heaven help me. In these times in life, help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change.